Hi everybody and welcome back. It's Dr. Matthew Hertert here again with Centre Chiropractic in Boalsburg, just outside State College and Penn State University. And today what I want to talk to you about is what to expect on your second visit to our office. But first I want to introduce and thank my friend Jen Spence. She's a massage therapist here in our area and we're very lucky to have her here. She's extraordinarily talented. I've seen more massage therapists in my life than I can really count, to be honest with you, and I don't think I've met more than 2 or 3 who are equally gifted when it comes to a relaxation or a spa type massage and a therapeutic massage to help you heal and get better faster. Jen here is not only fantastic with both of those, in my experience she crammed them into one visit, which I don't think I've ever had anybody else to do. So she's really gifted, she's really talented, she's easy to get to in the area. Massage therapy is a fantastic intervention that is good for you regardless of age, size, other health conditions. It's really a great way to take care of yourself. So I encourage you to look her up if you're not already seeing her, and hopefully you're already seeing her. So thanks again, Jen. She doesn't get to do much today. She just kind of has to sit here. So extra thanks to Jen. So the second visit, really at this point, we've already done a lot of work. We've gone through your entire family history, your health history. You know, we've talked about your current complaint if you have one. Not everybody who comes in has a complaint when they come in. We've also done a really extensive exam. We've done a chiropractic exam, a physical exam. For almost everybody, there's some component neurologically or orthopedically that we've looked at. A high percentage of our clients, we now have x-rays on you, so you can really look biomechanically at what's going on in your spine and your pelvis and your legs. In the meantime, what's really happened is you've gone home for a day or two and gotten to relax while I sat down with all those puzzle pieces and tried to put them together to come up with the best picture of what's going on for you, what kinds of interventions are possible, what the best ones are for you, and how to move forward in a treatment plan. So you come back for the second visit, which we call a report of findings. Surprise, surprise, because I'm reporting my findings to you. And we go through all that information together. I describe everything that's going on, why it's important to take care of it, and I answer, most importantly, all your questions, if you have any, about the treatment process. Now, one other thing that happens on this visit is I'm going to talk to you about the chiropractic philosophy. I want you to understand what chiropractors do, how the chiropractic treatments are working to help your body heal itself, and why that's so important. In all honesty, I know for some people this part is a little boring. They want to just get down to the treatment. But there are reasons that this explanation is important. The first is if you understand what I'm doing and why I'm doing it, you're going to make a better partner. Our communication is going to be better, and all those things mean that you're going to heal faster. You're going to get better faster. You're going to get better results from the process. The other reason I found over time that part of the conversation is helpful is a lot of people who come in here, even some people who have been seeing chiropractors for 20 years off and on, they still primarily affiliate chiropractic with neck pain and low back pain, with musculoskeletal complaints. They have no idea how much research is out there and how many people have been helped coming to chiropractors with organ problems, internal problems, things like headaches, sinus and ear infections, irregular or rapid or slow heartbeats, digestive problems, menstrual issues. There are a whole host of things that can really be helped. High blood pressure. There was a rather significant medical study that found that chiropractic was the most effective treatment for high blood pressure just year before last, which I talk about in more depth in one of my other videos. So this part of the conversation I think still helps get some people kind of into that mindset like, oh, maybe there's more potential for me here than just not having to take Advil. So we're going to talk about that in more depth. Now, one other thing I think it's important to acknowledge about this process is that a lot of times when you come in, like let's just say Jen here came in for a neck complaint, okay? During the course of the exam, it's pretty common for me to find other issues, other places in the body. It might be a shoulder or the temporomandibular joint. It could be the low back or pelvis. I think most of us have had an experience like that going to the mechanic for an oil change and all of a sudden you've got $3,000 worth of other problems that they've found. The thing I want you to know about chiropractic that I think is pretty cool is that it does not take much more time or work to correct 4 problems than it does to correct 1, and it really doesn't cost anything different. It's not an arm and a leg. It's not a big difference there in the time or the money you're going to spend. And although you may reference this as sort of a childhood nursery rhyme, the leg bone really is connected to the neck bone. If you've got an issue in your low back that is non-symptomatic, it's not hurting you so you're not concerned about it, the neck problem you're concerned about is not going to be able to heal as quickly if we don't help correct that foundation and take stress off this area as well. So most people who come in here with a holistic mindset get better faster, feel better faster, they get more functionality back more quickly, and they stay away longer, and they feel better between visits. Another thing to consider here is that chiropractic is very safe, it's very inexpensive, and it's very effective compared to a lot of other healthcare treatments out there, especially for organ problems, for internal problems. I talk about that stuff in much greater length than some of my other videos. If you're interested in that, you can go ahead and watch some of them. But I also think it's important that people understand, even though it seems alternative, chiropractic is really a very conservative intervention. So after we've talked about all that information, most people want to start treatment. Some people want to go home and think about it for a day, or talk to their spouse, or they're about to go away for a long weekend or something like that. It doesn't make sense for them to start. But most people want to start treatment on that second visit so they can start feeling better and functioning better. The way this really starts is with a mini exam. We do a little mini exam every visit you come in. Some of you might be sitting there thinking, well, gee, this is only my second visit. We just did this huge exam last time. Even if you haven't fallen off a ladder or done a marathon, your body is dynamically changing. It's changing all the time, and that is important to factor for in this process, especially on subsequent exams when we've done adjustments and we want to see what kind of process or progress that you're making here. So after we've talked about how you're feeling, if there have been any changes since last time you were in, I'm going to start the mini exam with running this little gadget down your back. It looks kind of fancy, I think, but it's just a heat meter. It just picks up temperature differentials between these two prongs here. So each time you come in, I'm going to run this down your spine, right over the spot on your back where those little joints are, which is also where the big spinal nerves come out. So just like when you stub your toe or slam your thumb in a drawer, it's an injury, so it swells up and gets hot. These are injuries, right? So you're going to have more inflammation around that injury, so you're going to have more heat on the side of the spine where that nerve pressure is than you will on the opposite side of the spine. So once we've kind of run through that little process and seen what that inflammation meter tells us, I'm going to feel what's going on in here. I'm going to run my finger gently down your spine. I'm looking for changes in muscle tone, or sometimes we see swelling, a little pitting edema right around that joint where it's misaligned. And then places where I find other signs of issues along with what we've seen from the heat meter, and it usually lines up with the complaints that you're reporting as well, I'm going to do a little palpation, a little motion palpation. I'm going to feel what's going on in these joints to really make sure that we know that we are on the correct vertebra. It can be just as easy to create nerve pressure as it can be to remove it. So it's really important in the Gonstead approach that we make sure that we are on the joint that needs to be adjusted and not adjusting anything else. So we want to be really specific about that. Part of what helps with that is that I'm looking at your x-rays over here the whole time I'm looking at your spine. You're facing in the same direction, so I can be looking back and forth. And the x-ray, of course, shows places where you have irregularities in posture or alignment, those sorts of things. So I'm really trying to use 5 or 6 different criteria here to be as clinically precise as I can to make sure we're adjusting you in the right places, only where you need to be adjusted, so you'll get better faster and feel better faster. Once that part is done, the next step is really to move on over to the treatment bench where we're going to do the first adjustment. So this is what I often joke with people is the free circus ride part of the visit. I say that because part of the design of this bench is for people who have acute problems, particularly the low back. This bench is going to let you down nice and easy here. You can see why I call it the circus ride part of the visit. If your back is really acute, it's going to be hard to climb up and down off a table. So that's part of the reason for this table. The other reason is it's very adjustable. We can really customize the settings to make sure you're relaxed. The more relaxed you are for the adjustment, the less tight your muscles are going to be. So we're going to get a better adjustment, so you get better faster, and it's also going to be more comfortable for you. Now, there are a wide variety of experiences people have with getting adjusted. Most people are somewhere in the middle. You know, they don't mind it, they don't love it, but they get good results from it. Some people actually really like the adjustment. They like the way that it feels. They can feel the tension and the problems release in there as they're getting adjusted. Some people really don't like the adjustment, but they find that the value, the benefits of the adjustment so overwhelm that 2 minutes of discomfort that it's kind of a no-brainer for them to proceed with that. What is important to me that you know with regards to comfort in the adjustment is that in my technique, there are at least 3 or 4 different kinds of adjustments for every misalignment. There are several different ways to contact that joint to correct the misalignment. So if we're starting to do something that's not comfortable for you, I think a lot of people think when they're in a healthcare office, they're not supposed to talk back. They're not supposed to really say, hey, I don't like that, or that needle hurts, please don't do that. And here, not only is that welcome, it's important to me that you do that. The more comfortable you are, the more relaxed you are for the adjustments, the more engaged you are in the process, the better you're going to get faster, the faster you're going to feel better. So, for instance, a lot of people have a hard time letting their low back relax for adjustments on this bench. Your tummy is kind of on a suspended spring here, so your muscles want to guard. If you tell me that, we can try one of those alternate adjustments and still get a really effective adjustment for you, and you don't have to be tense or guarding or uncomfortable while we're doing it. Now, the last thing I want to say is, people come in here sometimes after 20 years seeing another chiropractor, and they just move up the street, so this is more convenient. Even in those cases, these first couple adjustments, I'm going to adjust you more gently. If I adjust you as deeply as you really need to be adjusted on that first visit, your muscles are never going to relax for me again to let me get in there and adjust that joint. Also, I don't really know your spine. I don't really know how things move. So on that first adjustment, we're going to give you a substantive adjustment to help you start getting better. But it's going to be a little gentle, and we're going to kind of ease you into the process over those first couple of treatments. If you have specific questions about the treatments in the different areas of the body here, we've made some other videos. We put some hard work into getting those up so you can get as clear a picture as you can get, really, short of being here getting adjusted, of what those will look like. So I encourage you to go watch those, especially the neck adjustment one. There's some good quality information in that. So thank you for Jen for doing much of nothing today and laying on her face for so long. It's hard for me to imagine with an introduction this general meant for new or prospective clients that you don't have some questions after all this. We covered a lot of information here today. So if you've got questions, please post them below this video along with your comments, and I will check in regularly to address those to the best of my ability. In the meantime, you can wander around our website, you can subscribe to our blog, you can sign up for our free email newsletter, you can always email or call me for a free, no-cost, no-obligation consultation, or you can just call our awesome staff at 466-2000 to set up your first appointment. Whether you're in pain and trying to get out of it, or whether you want to try and avoid those kinds of problems in the first place, you will be glad that you did. Thanks for your time, and blessings to you and yours.